I'm going to go with Samson Dauda for a repeat. He knows, I think Samson losing the Arnold against Derek lit another fire in him, and I think he's going to take that all the way to the Olympia. Now listen, Derek Lunsford peaked at the Arnold. Peaked. I said in my show after that it's going to be hard for him to repeat that, and he showed it 2 weeks later that it wasn't possible. And I think it's going to be even harder now at the Olympia.
Athletes and fans around the world, welcome to another episode of Primetime Muscle. We're so happy you're joining us. If you're doing your cardio with us, take it up another notch or get that incline going. I'm Tim Wilkins, joined by the mega judge, just back from, you were in Portugal?
Romania, Portugal, London. Europe is on fire. Great competitors. Dennis had an amazing show in Germany. A lot of great champions in Germany. Europe is on fire. You know, we got Samson Dauda as the Mr. Olympia. We got Ryan Terry as the men's physique. I think Europe is about to bring down the house at the Olympia.
So Tarek Elgindi, you shouted out Dennis James, our special guest. Good to have you back.
Man, listen, I'm getting so used to you two, so it's it's just always a special day to be here.
We are like an acquired taste like broccoli or Brussels sprouts, I'll promise you that. So we take some getting used to. So it is good to have you back, and we've not only enjoyed for the 7 weeks you've been with us, your stories, your experience. It's been incredibly inspiring. We got a lot of great comments from the viewers that really enjoyed you sharing a lot of what you went through as a pro. But we also love how dialed in you are to the sport right now. So we're going to start looking at some picks. So we are going to, if you're headed to Vegas to see the Olympia, or if you're just going to go to Vegas to bet, we're going to use your picks.
You're going to use my picks?
We're going to use your picks. No pressure.
Well, where should I start?
Top 5. We want to know the top 5 at the Mr. Olympia men's open bodybuilding. Who's placing 5th?
Ooh. I'm going to look in the camera because I might lose a couple of followers, but I'm ready for it. So, can I do it the other way around?
In first place?
It's easier, yeah. I think it's less disrespectful if I start from the beginning.
Do you want to put them in a call out and then switch them around?
No, I'm going to go with Samson Dauda for a repeat. He knows, I think Samson losing the Arnold against Derek lit another fire in him, and I think he's going to take that all the way to the Olympia. I believe that Hadi, again, will be second. It's going to be close, but it's just a size thing. I think that Hadi will be second.
This is a big one right here.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
I think Derek is going to be in third. It's going to be basically a repeat from last year in the top 3. Now, 4 and 5, see, it's really wide open. We have Martin Fitzwater. We have Andrew Jacked. We have, who am I missing, guys?
Nick Walker.
We got Nick Walker. So let me take that back. I think that Nick Walker will be in the top 3.
Oh.
Yes.
So you're taking Derek Lunsford out of the top 3.
Yes, I have Nick Walker beating Derek Lunsford. And I'll tell you why. I'll try to make it as understandable as possible why I'm doing this. Now listen, Derek Lunsford peaked at the Arnold. Peaked. I said in my show after that it's going to be hard for him to repeat that, and he showed it 2 weeks later that it wasn't possible. And I think it's going to be even harder now at the Olympia. And therefore, I think that Derek will not be at his best. That's just what I'm thinking. Guys, don't put your money on what I say. I think that Derek will miss his mark by a little bit. And I think Nick, who is more consistent when it comes to condition, he will hit his peak and therefore place third. So Derek in fourth. Then I would say, a better Andrew Jacked than at the FIBO in fifth. And Yeah. See, we have Martin Fitzwater, and we have Brandon Curry,
Ooh.
and we have
Bonac.
Bonac. But we have a guy that I still haven't seen next to these guys, and I think this will be a sight to be seen, and that is Good Vito.
Oh.
I think Good Vito has a good chance of standing next to some of these guys and hold his own. Now, how good will he look? We don't know, because we expected him in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, he hurt himself. He couldn't make it to Pittsburgh. I was so excited just to see him next to Nick and next to Derek. It didn't happen. We will see it at the Olympia. So I will go with Andrew and Martin Fitzwater.
Okay. Here's the only place I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in that whole thing. And we don't normally talk geopolitical or politics or anything, but there's currently a travel ban, and there's a whole lot of interesting things going on that may or may not prevent Hadi from getting here.
Well, then that's a different ballgame. Then just remember what I said, then move everybody up.
So you're moving Nick potentially into second. If Hadi isn't here,
Absolutely.
Nick second, Derek third.
Listen, absolutely. And Nick is so dangerous that if Samson is not on, don't be surprised if Bob has to do the interview with Nick Walker.
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
Wow! Wow!
We will have a mic drop moment at the Olympia this year,
That would be it.
if that happens.
Well,
yes.
I think the crowd would go ballistic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they will go ballistic regardless.
Regardless, but
Because we have the best bodybuilders on stage. And everybody knows, because like I said, the reigning champ was just beat at the Arnold. So Samson is still the favorite because he's the reigning Mr. Olympia. But look, how many Olympias did we have in the last 5 years?
4.
So listen, no one's safe. No one's safe. You all better bring your A game.
Now, if he comes back, so let's do it, because I love this. You'd have potentially Hadi, Samson, Derek,
Samson Hadi.
and then Brandon Curry, and Big Rami's coming back potentially. Yeah, but you'd have 5
No,
Mr.
I want to hear this.
I don't believe
Because
that.
Dennis James
I don't-
and Big Rami are tight.
I don't.
Wasn't he staying at your pad? Oh, that's
was-
right.
yeah,
of
he
all
was-
the people, I forgot.
Yeah, but no, I don't buy that. You know what I'm saying?
Winter's coming back. I
don't
was
know.
told this.
Yeah, winter is always coming back every year. That's just a normal thing. You can't stop it. You know, but it's a different winter. So I listen.
Is it milder
Would
winter
I
if it comes
love
back?
to see Rami back? Absolutely yes. But I would not like to see Rami back on stage, you know, a shadow of himself. You know what I'm saying? He's 41 years old. He just had twins last December. He has 2 more kids. So he's got a lot going on, I'm sure. So he never retired. But, you know, unless you hear it from himself that he's coming back to compete, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, it's, we speculated a few months back, but it's interesting to know because Dennis is very close to him. If he doesn't come back, it leaves, the top 5 similar in Dennis picks from what happened last year. We did Olympia battle, and a lot of people were impressed by Brandon Curry. And Brandon was top 4 at the Arnold. He looked great. Can Brandon squeeze in that top 5? We don't know. Nick has tremendous momentum because not only he gave hell to Lunsford, but he won New York. And we saw Samson losing the Arnold Classic last year to Hadi Choopan and come back at his best at the Olympia. It's going to be one of the most exciting Olympias. A lot of people are saying that one of these guys will be the first one of this era to win 2 titles. Either Hadi, Samson, or Derek, right? One of them is going to be the two-time. And that makes a difference because we look at Franco Columbu and Big Rami in different eyes than we look at Samir Banu and Chris Dickerson, right?
Right.
If you win 2, it's like you dominated a certain period of time. If you win 1, people say, well, maybe at that point it was a transitional moment. So every time you accumulate titles at the Olympia, it builds on exponentially on your legacy.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. But listen, the prize money is up. You know what I mean? The pressure is there, but you go in and, the Olympia is $600,000 up for grabs. Give me some of that pressure.
Now, Let's go back to that because I love the fire behind your journey, which is the pro journey. It's the elite Olympia journey. Did you ever go into the Olympia thinking about the prize money?
Never.
It was about that Sandow and that title and of saying once in your life, I was Mr. Olympia.
I can honestly say I had no idea what the prize money was. I knew what was first prize, but I never knew what was second, third. I had no idea. So it was never for the prize money. That's why we did all the shows in Europe. It was all $10,000 shows.
Yeah.
So it wasn't for the money. It's to get on that stage, to compete next to the best of the best, and be called, named one of the best. That's what it's all about for me.
So one of those three guys at the top, Hadi, Derek, Samson, had it taken away from them. And Samson didn't have his Olympia title taken away, but 3 months later had that Arnold got beaten by the guy he had just beaten. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot at stake for all three of these guys as bodybuilders.
And Derek did not take it lightly because they came for Olympia battle after Pittsburgh, and Bob Cicherillo brought Samson Dauda on stage during the guest posing, and Derek was there. And Samson Dauda, when Bob Cicherillo asked, what'd you think of the show? The contest between Derek and Nick Walker, and Samson gave a very short response. He looked deep into Derek Lunsford's eyes and said, it was close. It was close. Mostly implying I had Nick Walker winning. You're just lucky to get out of here with the win. That's what he was implying. And Derek did not take it lightly. Derek said, okay, you thought it was close? We'll see what happens at the Olympia. Derek also, when he lost to Hadi, he stood on stage, right? He clapped. He gave Hadi his special moment. Hadi did not give him his special moment. Hadi took off. And after the Olympia, we were all talking about Hadi taking off. So I'm sure Derek would like to double down and say, are you going to stay or are you going to leave again? Right? All those things play into the competitors' minds. They won't tell you publicly, but I will.
You've got the emails.
I got the emails.
All right, then. All right. We're going to get more from Dennis when we come back. We're going to talk about who your Olympia dark horse is. And it could be to potentially win. It could be to just break that top 5. Who you think could come out of nowhere and do some damage? We'll talk about that and more when we come back. All right, we are back. And in addition to your expertise and your insights, I'm always impressed by American success stories like Derek, who came here and didn't even know English, and now you're an icon in a sport. Dark horse.
Dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a dark horse in Brazil. His name is Marcelo De Angelis. He's now gone from bodybuilding to classic physique. But the dark horse of the 2025 Mr. Olympia, in my opinion, is Bruce Tabani.
Ooh.
If Bruce Tabani can come to the Mr. Olympia and compete, he could shake up a lot of things. Milo Sarcev, who's the most biased coach in the history of mankind, but also one of the most reasonable guys, he says, Derek, I think from the back, he's better than Derek Lunsford. I was appalled by the statement, but now I can see why. I think Bruce Tabani can really shock people.
Dennis?
I mean, I see what Derek is saying. I just
About Milos being a biased coach? Or
yes,
about the Bruce?
and that too.
Yeah.
I just don't consider Bruce because I just have a feeling that this is not going to work out with the visa this year, unfortunately. And therefore, my dark horse, not to win, but to make it into the top 6, is Tonio Burton.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say that.
The package that you brought to the Legion showed me that you did your homework. And I believe that you could catch some of these guys off guard. And therefore, you are officially my dark horse for this year's Olympia.
Wow, I'm surprised by Dennis James' response. I thought he was going to pick Gudavito.
No. I'm sorry, I can't.
Here's the thing. When Ronnie Coleman won the 1998 Mr. Olympia, it was one of the greatest moments in bodybuilding history because all of a sudden, anybody feels that they can win the Olympia at any given time. And we were just talking offline, Rich Strike, Kentucky Derby 2022. The NBA Finals, right? We just had a finals that most people didn't even speculate. Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma Thunder. When you have somebody that no one expects to win a show is an incredible moment. I think Barusta Bunny is that guy that would change the dynamics. If Gudavito comes in and outmasses everybody, this is why we wanted to see Gudavito in Pittsburgh. Because we see pictures of him and we go, gee, this guy's a monster, right? Can he be next to Nick Walker and outmass Nick Walker? I mean, who can do that? You got to be crazy to outmass Nick Walker.
That's going to be very hard, especially from the back when it comes to Gudavito. Now, I believe Gudavito is a very good bodybuilder, and I have high hopes for him. But I have yet to see him standing next to a lineup with some dangerous guys. So we can only see how good you are if you stand next to great guys. So, and if he does that, if he competes in the show before the Olympia, and I see him next to some of the top guys, I will tell you if he's a dark horse or not. But for right now, for me, it is Tonio. And Beru's wouldn't even be a dark horse for me. If Milos calls me today and says he's got his visa, I will put him in the top 3.
All right, then.
I will literally have him in the top 3.
Now, interesting enough, there were some comparisons after the Legion Sports Festival. Some people saying, those are strong statements. Tonio Burton reminds them of Dexter Jackson in the beginning of his career. Do you see that, or is that a far-fetched idea?
There's only one Dexter Jackson. There's only one Dexter Jackson. I see what they're saying. The somewhat similarity with the shape. Tonio is a little more bubbly. Dexter was just the blades. I mean, he was sliced and diced from front to back, top to bottom. There's no Dexter Jackson out there. There's only one. But Tonio, he's going for his own legacy, and he can. He absolutely can. I think, and that's a great story I got to tell you about Tonio real quick. He did his first Olympia at the Planet Hollywood. When was that? 3 years? 22?
As a 212.
No.
In the open.
It was 2 years ago.
No,
yeah.
2022.
22.
Yeah.
I think 2022. So before the finals, I'm at the hotel in the casino bar. Here comes Tonio Burton on his way to backstage. And I said, are you nervous? He looked like he was nervous. I said, no, not finals. I think prejudging, Friday night, before prejudging. So he was nervous. So I said, let's have a shot of tequila. So
yes!
we had I think I had a couple of shots, to be honest. And then I sent him off backstage.
Kill the nerves and dry him out.
He did well. He
Good.
did well. He looked great.
So, that's my guy.
Derek is looking at me like he just had a flashback.
Dennis.
That's my guy right there.
That's the sequel of Kevin Levrone and Ronnie Coleman in Russia, right?
Yeah.
So last year, guys, the guy that surprised everybody was Fitzwater.
Right.
He was the dark horse.
He was the dark horse that showed up. My guy this year, other than Tonio Burton, because I'm a big fan and his improvements year over year are incredible. My guy this year would be Jacked. Andrew Jacked, when he gets on that stage, he's got so many good improvements. I think he could be in that top 4 or 5.
Yeah, but we've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this. So it's not really a surprise. We're waiting for everybody's saying he has the best shape of all of them.
Yeah.
If he nails it, he can be anywhere fighting for the title.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's
well,
that good.
you know, we love Andrew Jack. He's got the genetics. But like Dennis said, we have been waiting.
Yeah.
It's like Melvin Anthony. I love Melvin. He's a friend of mine. We were waiting for him to get those striated glutes for about 10 years. It didn't happen. Love Melvin.
Yep.
Love Melvin, right? So there is that factor that, hey, you know, I remember when Cody Montgomery turned pro. The whole world said, this is the guy that's going to win the Olympia. He never won a pro show, and the guys that took second and third, Charles Griffin and Gerald Williams, they both won pro shows. So a prospect is a prospect. I'm going to put the heat on Andrew Jack. Yeah, you got great genetics. You're a statue. You've won shows. A lot of people speculate that if you're on, you can win the Olympia. But that has not happened yet. Are we going to wait another year? That's up to you.
Here's my question for you. 11 Olympias. Is there anyone that stands out in your mind that, you knew Lavroni, you knew Ronnie was going to be there, Chris was going to be there. Is there anybody you looked up and went, who the hell is that guy? And just blew past everybody?
No, not really, because, I looked up to all of them and I studied all of them in the magazines. So
Was there ever a new
I
guy
knew
though, that came out of nowhere to blow your mind?
as far as I remember now, there was a couple of new guys. There was this one guy from Russia, Alexander Fedorov.
Huge.
He qualified at the show in Russia where he got second or third. No, he got third. And Ronnie Coleman won and Jay Cutler got second. And a lot of people had him even beating Jay. And when he came to the U.S., everybody thought this is the next big thing, But then he didn't really quite deliver. He had this pec tear too, so it was very obvious. And that was one that came out of nowhere. Who else came out of nowhere in my time? Well, Phil Heath.
No.
Phil Heath, toward the end of my career, Phil Heath started coming in, and yeah, we already knew what was coming when he showed up, because he took the time after he turned pro. And even after he turned pro, he won shows. The first 2 or 3 shows he won right away. So he qualified for the Olympia 2 years back to back and didn't even go to the Olympia because he told himself he's not ready. So he waited till 3 years later, and I think he ended up placing, did he place 5th? Or?
First year he placed third. The
third.
following year he got sick, he played 5th.
Okay, so yeah.
Now I'm going to mention one guy who has better genetics than Andrew Jack, possibly better genetics than anybody. When he turned pro at the 2009 Nationals, a few weeks prior to him going on stage, Muscular Development published a picture of him at a porch, Cedric McMillan.
Oh.
He went on to the Nationals 2009 to beat Seth Feroz, who was a light heavy, and to beat Jeff King, who was a heavyweight, and he won the super heavy. I was sitting right next to George Farah, and George Farah said, "This is the next coming of Lee Haney." Cedric McMillan turned pro in 2009, and the entire bodybuilding community said, this is the guy that's going to win many Olympias. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out like that. He still had a great career, one of the most beloved guys. He was a friend of mine. We were in Brazil together. But it is what it is. In the end of the day, a prospect is a prospect. Potential is potential.
I'm not making excuses for Cedric, but here's a guy, though, that balanced his service with the sport. And that did take away from a lot of his opportunities to prep properly, get the right food, set himself aside, train sometimes. So there's a guy that really gave his all to everything he did.
Yeah. Cedric was an awesome guy. Great person, rest in peace. And yeah. And that was the ones that surprised me, to be honest.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully there's some big surprises this year, because it just adds so much excitement and so much heat. The first couple of years that it was Vito and Krizo and Andrew Jack came out and posed at the press conference, just peeled, and everybody went, whoa, those guys are big.
I'll tell you another name that everybody speculated as being the next guy, Justin Compton.
Right.
You remember Justin Compton? Everybody was hot on Justin Compton. I judged him. I was impressed. I was like, this guy has everything. It didn't pan out like that, and it's unfortunate. But we got to give credit to the guys that have delivered. the William Bonacks, right? Those guys have delivered.
Oh, it's still delivering. All right, we're going to come back right after this, and we're going to talk with Dennis about his greatest Olympia, what you think of that, and we love covering it, but we'd like to hear your insights when we come back. All right, we're back. This series has been called Icons on the Set. We've been lucky to have you for 8 weeks.
Man, it was 8 weeks of just pure fun.
It's going to be hard to go back. It's like being on vacation. It's going to be hard to go back.
Yeah. Dennis James is extremely knowledgeable. He's been a trainer of champions. He trained Rami when Rami was Mr. Olympia. He's a promoter of great shows, not only here in Arizona, but also in Germany. But more than that, this is a guy that lived great years of bodybuilding. How many people in this planet, how many great bodybuilders in this planet can look at us and say, I was on a first call out with Ronnie Coleman, Dexter Jackson, and Jay Cutler.
It's about
Dennis James has done that. He's done that.
It's about 8 to 10 maybe, tops, if not less, during your era. That's a real select group of people.
Yeah.
So
I never thought about this, but yeah, you're right.
You need us to tell you how good you are.
Yeah, I mean,
That's humble. I like that.
No.
Stick with us. We'll pump you up.
I think it's just, sometimes you got to be a little bit lucky too. It's not always genetic. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck.
So you brought up an interesting thing. So within the body of that, we've been lucky enough to have you, and you were there for some great Olympias. You look back on that time. Who are some of your favorite Olympias? Your favorite Olympia champions?
Favorite Olympia champions.
He's got to rank them. You can't just give that easy to him. You got to put him in a position where people call him afterwards and say, I can't believe you put that guy ahead of me.
It's very hard.
I'd really like him to come back and be with us if we need him.
Yeah, see? Be nice. It's, my top 5 favorite Mr. Olympias. I have to go with the originator right away, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll have to go with Lee Haney. I will have to go with Ronnie Coleman. I'll have to put Phil Heath in there. And Dorian Yates.
Okay.
Yes.
I have only one request. In a thick German accent, go back and re-say Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So much more fun. You can't have a guy that's got 15 shows in Germany and not say that properly. You said it like you're
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
I don't know why. Who made that up? Schwarzenegger. Who made that up? Tarek, you?
No, not me. I can barely pronounce my own name in English. I just learned how people say it. But it's a great list. And look, we were talking to Olympia owner Jake Wood a few days ago. Some things are undisputable in our sport. Undisputable. The fact that the Mr. Olympia is the greatest bodybuilding contest in the world. Hey, listen, we can play around, create rivalries, but since 1965, this has been the golden standard of bodybuilding, the Mr. Olympia. The greatest icon in bodybuilding, even if he didn't win 8 Mr. Olympias, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And it's not only what he did as a bodybuilder, right? If you talk to people that know nothing about bodybuilding, and I have an opportunity to talk to people that are in the wine business, that are in the shipping businesses, and you talk to them about bodybuilding, the first thing they say is Arnold. A lot of people don't know Joe Weider and Ben Weider. Nothing against them, but they just think of Arnold. He is the guy. They think he created bodybuilding. They think there was no bodybuilding before. So he is going to be forever the icon. Just like we got to look at the ladies and put Linda Murray. Now, I like the fact that right after he put Lee Haney over Ronnie Coleman, which is something that Chris Cormier and I did. And the reason is because Lee Haney, once he started winning the Olympia, he never lost a show. Ronnie lost 2002 to Gunter in New Orleans. So that was kind of a stain on his, reputation.
And in 2006.
Yeah. In 2006, he lost, but he never regained, right? That was...
Yeah, but he lost it.
Yeah, no, that's true because Lee Haney retired as the champion.
Right.
So Lee Haney can arguably be the most dominant. And then I want to say about Phil Heath. A lot of people don't mention Phil Heath as much, and I don't know why. Do you have an explanation, Dennis?
I don't. Maybe they just didn't. Phil's personality was a little different than Lee and Ronnie. Phil was. He had his emotions were there sometimes, and that's why sometimes maybe he came across as a little cocky, which he wasn't. If you know Phil in person, he's not a cocky person. He was confident. But you have to be confident. If you win the Olympia and you got 20, 25 guys behind you trying to kill you, you got to be confident enough to know I can beat these guys over and over and over again. And therefore, I get it. And for me, like I said, Phil Heath is definitely in the top 3 of best Mr. Olympias of all time.
And if you can't be that cocky or confident, you at least have to do a tequila shot in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did that too.
So I got a slight change of course for you, but I'm going to go back to an Olympia champion from 2021 who stayed at your house while he was getting ready, Big Ramy.
Yes.
Mamdou El Sabah. Did I get that?
That's a BI.
Yeah, that's a Sabia. I think it was you that was saying somewhere, someone was asking, man, having him at your house must be an imposition. And you said, he's not a big eater.
It's not a big eater, no.
How can you be 300 pounds and not a big eater?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know. It's just, he eats, but it's not, when you look at him in off season, he can go up to 350 pounds in no time with regular meals, not even cheat meals.
Regular meals.
Regular clean meals. He'll just blow up. I never understood it. I didn't understand it when I first met him back in 2013, how he can just eat a little bit of food and still be this heavy.
If he ate like me, he would be 500 pounds.
So I want to circle back to this also then, because this is something you talked about as one of your regrets was changing your shape with forcing mass. But I think a big mindset has changed with a lot of the top level guys where you're not fluctuating 40 to 70 pounds off season.
Yeah.
Because not only you have to take it all back off again and you've got some fat that's a net, you're trying to see how much muscle you'll net when you gain. On 70 pounds, it's maybe 8, maybe 10. So you got to go up and take 60 pounds back off.
Yeah.
It's really hard on your body. What's the mindset now? I'm on target here, right?
Yeah.
The people are changing. They're trying to stay within striking distance.
Right. And I've been teaching this now for so many years to tell people, no one cares what you look like in off season in your clothes. That's not being judged. So for you to walk around with 2 sweaters on and a jacket on top saying I'm 310 pounds doesn't bother me at all. I had this conversation with Blessing the other day, who went up to 316 pounds in off season, and he came back to the Legion and he totally disappointed. And he was not even much heavier than he was in the last, when he won the Night of Champions, when he was great. So I've been telling people, stop. That's not off season. Off season doesn't mean get fat and get as heavy as you can. Off season means you are not prepping for a contest. You are training to get better and try to add some muscle tissue.
I think it's incredibly important for not just your health and longevity, but just for your ease of striking distance to get back to your stage weight.
Yes.
Not having to pull 50 pounds back on with cardio and extreme diet is going to be a lot easier on your body.
And on your heart.
And on your heart.
Yes, yes.
So I want to point that out then real quick too, Derek. You young bodybuilders that are watching influencers, when they're going from their stage weight of 220, 215 to 270 to 290, they're not bulking up. Their body inside their heart is acclimating to the new mass by creating new pathways, blood vessels, the whole operation. That is the essence of myocarditis, the enlargement of the heart to fuel this new mass monster they've created. When they diet back down, you still have that heart in a much smaller body. You have enlarged your heart forever. It is one of those things that you want to be careful of and monitor yourself and say, you know what? I'm not gaining 50 pounds of muscle. I'm getting 43 pounds of fat, 7 pounds of muscle, which is pretty close to the max doing it right, maybe 10. And the rest is just strain on your body, your joints, ligaments, tendons. It's hard on your whole body. Think about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Very knowledgeable, Tim. Very eloquent.
Yeah.
I mean, I was impressed. Nico, I know you're impressed. Did you practice that speech?
B-roll myocarditis. That's what you're going to
Wow.
say. No, but I can tell you from firsthand experience, as a really stupid move as a men's physique guy, you talk to the judges after. I go to a Derek or a Bill Sibilia or a Tyler, and I say, you know what, third in Masters Nationals really sucked. What do I have to do next year? You're going to have to be bigger. So I go back and I bulk up, put on 52 pounds, thinking 49 of that is muscle. Wait till I hit stage.
Yeah.
That's why I was doing an hour AM and PM of cardio. The last 6 weeks, it was no carb. The last 3 weeks, it was no fat and no carbs. Wasting away probably whatever. I netted 3 pounds. 49 pounds of that ended up being fat and water.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And you probably force-fed yourself
I look like
to get to that point.
garbage. Oh, I was.
Yeah.
See, and that's when I look back and think about Dexter, those meals. I'm sitting going, how are you, Dex? Timmy, don't talk. I can't swallow. I can't swallow. And I was there. You're eating 150 grams of carbs per meal, trying to eat clean for 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day.
I don't think you look like garbage. Let's find another word. You looked,
Yeah.
You looked as an outlier.
As an outlier.
Outlier, yes. It's a better word.
So, we thank you. Tune into the Menace podcast. That old school roundtable you have. That is just such a quality show for people who love the sport.
Yes. And, we have fun every week. Just basically, having a casual conversation, forgetting that there's a camera. It's just us every week.
And, you get so many pros on there, but none of them are zeros.
No, none of them. I want to say something about the Menace podcast. Is one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show on YouTube. If you're a guy that likes old school bodybuilding, like myself, and you want to hear the old stories, it's incredible. Dennis James, Milos, you get Chris there, and you get Dorian Yates and some of the best guests. And these guys are telling the stories that all of us fans of the 90s and 2000s want to hear. I love the Menace podcast. When I travel 10, 15 hours to go to Asia, I have it downloaded on my phone, and I watch those episodes. Are amazing. I want to talk to you guys about Pro Zero. Tim Wilkins was just saying he gained a lot of saturated fat during his off season. If he was taking a protein with no sugar, no fat, and cholesterol, he would have gained maybe 15 pounds. Then when he came back to make his weight, maybe he wouldn't have lost so much muscle. I recommend you get some Pro Zero from Global Formulas.
And measure your chicken. All right. Dennis, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you guys, man. Absolutely. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to be here. And hopefully in the future, we can make this happen again.
Oh, I know a guy. Derek has a lot of power.
Yeah.
Speaking of Derek, dude, good to see you. Great job as always.
Great to be here. An honor. Great competitors. The Mr. Olympia is going to be unbelievable. Get your tickets, get your pay-per-view right now.
Use Dennis's picks to get your bets in. As always, thank you for joining us on Primetime Muscle. Like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments on your thoughts on what Dennis said and your top 5. Let us know your top 5 this far out. We'd love to hear it. We'll see you on the next Primetime Muscle.